Vierling lights up the new scoreboard.
We're on top of the monster.
Swing and a miss on a changeup down.
It is a changeup, and it is ridiculous.
I'm trying not to look behind me. I might get a little dizzy. Scared of heights.
Burns throws, got it, what a play! Oh, man!
This is Have a Seat with Jason Benetti and Dan Dickerson.
Matt, welcome to Have a Seat.
Yeah, good to be here.
What a seat it is.
And what a seat
By the way, is it a comfortable seat? Like, how are you on height?
It's a little hot. I'm trying not to look behind me. I might get a little dizzy. Scared of heights. I mean, we're on top of the monster.
He went accent 30 seconds
It
in.
didn't take long. I shoot, you won the over-under.
No, but this is pretty good. It doesn't get much better than this.
So as I learned the other day, you have a very close friend who's from Boston. So
Yeah.
you do the accent a little bit.
I mean, I get it from him, like just impersonating the stuff he would say. But he's one of my college roommates, and I mean, he says like "bubbla" or "rotary," or I forget what the other one is. But I mean, he just had different names for like
Everything.
regular water fountain, roundabout,
Right.
and he just had such a thick Boston accent. I'm like, I don't even understand.
Sprinkles on ice cream are called jimmies.
Jimmy's
Here, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want any jimmies on your froyo there?
I don't know where they get it, but yeah, it's hilarious.
What's it like? Like, you grow up being a baseball fan in St. Louis, and like, you're playing on this.
Yeah, no.
What is that like?
It's cool. I mean, St. Louis is all about baseball and sports. There's really not much else to do, I would say, for the most part. I mean, it's they love their sports there, and so the Cardinals is like the center of that whole town, and so obviously, like, you know, everything about baseball you get to know: Red Sox, Cubs, Yankees, going way back with all the history. So, yeah, I know. I mean, this is a special place. If you're a fan of baseball, this is kind of one of the, it's like a cathedral almost, like in certain respects. It's a pretty cool place, and being able to play here after watching so many games is pretty cool. I got to do it last year and get to do it again, so it's cool.
Yeah, growing up at Tiger Stadium, this ballpark in Tiger Stadium opened the same week in 1912. And there's just a certain feeling, isn't there, when you walk in below the grandstands, but then when you walk out, the old ballparks, you didn't see the field until you walked up that ramp.
Yep.
And for you, walking up the dugout steps.
Yeah, and they have like I guess Babe Ruth walked through that hallway, or like that's what they say.
Right.
And all these legends of the game walk through that hallway, and there's like wood steps that go down to the hallway that are like probably as old as this stadium, like they're splintering and everything. So it's pretty cool. I mean, the locker room is like super small. The batting cage is like you got to go through tunnels to get to the visitor's batting cage, which is next to like a restaurant and or like a club, and it's just pretty cool, like the whole thing. I mean, it's Boston, it's Fenway Park, it's everything about it's pretty cool. So
As we sat here right now, last night, Jack Flaherty threw a near no-hitter, 6 1/3 no-hit innings. His last out was a fly ball to you in right. And I was looking up during the game, Jim Bunning of the Tigers threw a no-hitter in this ballpark.
No way.
The final out was a fly ball to right field that Ted Williams hit to Al Kaline.
Oh man.
And when you look out here and you know that it's been since 1912,
Yeah.
it just kind of hit me as I was watching the game, like you were standing in the same spot as all those guys were.
I know.
How does that hit you?
I mean, you're just kind of like, out there you have the Ted Williams seat that seems like, I don't know how anybody could ever hit a ball that far, but like just all the numbers they got retired, but even just all the people, like if you just go on like YouTube and just look up playoff moments or anything, you just see so many moments that happened here. I mean, when I was in St. Louis, growing up as a kid, in 2004, when they won their first World Series, it was against the Cardinals. So like when they won through that playoff run, you're watching. I was like 8 years old at that time, but just knowing all the people that have played here, it's pretty cool just to be, say I also did it, So it's awesome. I mean, it's like living out a dream being able to play here.
How do you resist standing at home plate, looking at the green monster and all the history and think, I gotta put one over the wall?
Oh my God, I know. Last year, I feel like it got in my head. I was like,
Really?
I did not hit well here last year. I'm like, I remember going to our hitting coach, and I'm like, I think I'm like subconsciously trying to pull the ball. Like, I just see it, you know, and it
You'd
looks
have to
so, yeah, and it's like so close to the infield. Like, I played left field here, and it's like you're on the wall, but I mean, it's just like a 90-foot throw into the infield. So I feel like I was up at the plate, and I was like subconsciously trying to pull the ball more. So I had to like readjust my sights to like right center field, but it's cool. I mean, it's unlike any park that we play in. So.
At what age would Matt Vierling have said it would be awesome to play at Fenway Park? What was the first year of your life that you would have said that?
Probably, well, I came up here with my family when I was a kid, and I remember we were like BP, we were here, and their balls were being launched out. So I remember being right over the center field wall, and Johnny Damon hit one out during batting practice. And I think they were playing the White Sox. But it was cool. I mean, I think at that moment, I was like, this place is pretty cool. I don't know if I ever like thought about, man, I want to play here. But
just baseball love in general is what I'm wondering about.
Like, this place is absolutely incredible. You know what I mean? And just the whole vibe of this area around the park too. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't remember how old I was though.
You were born a year before Mark McGwire got traded to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What is your first baseball memory?
First baseball memory.
Yeah.
As a 2-year-old, what do you remember about McGuire?
Yeah, Big Macland clearly hit you in the brain, your early forming brain.
Yeah, I mean, my first baseball memory might have been at a Cardinal game or playing T-ball. I think playing-wise, it was playing T-ball for like my Mary Queen of Peace. Like at this 10 minutes away at this little park, and I remember playing T-ball. But as far as like watching baseball, I remember McGwire, but I really like remember Albert Pujols and like Fernando Vina, Edgar Renteria, like those guys, which was kind of like that 2004 run that the Red Sox made and won it. That was when I really started like remembering baseball and like kind of started having some memories about it. But yeah, I wish I would have been around to remember McGwire going off.
Were you a
that.
masher in T-ball?
No. I was line drive.
Line drive.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been a line drive guy. I'm trying to get up a little bit more, but no, yeah, I wasn't a masher. I was like a power hitter, but yeah, I remember those were good days, man. Those were fun.
Well, okay, so where's the smile come from when you think about those days?
I'm just like, you're so like, there's no worries in the world. There's literally, all you're doing is just like the most fun you're having is just playing with the people you're around. Like, I don't even remember friends at that point or anything like that. I just remember playing and loving it, like just loving it. Playing any sport really, like basketball too, soccer, like everything. So it's just, I was thinking of those. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
There's a reason that we want to talk to you today. There's a reason the Tigers targeted you in the trade before the 2023 season. It's not just the skills, but it's the person. And a lot of people talk about this. You still see your high school coach when you go back. You still talk in touch with your coach at Notre Dame, Nick Aoki. And they all say the same thing. Mick Aoki was going on and on about what a good person you are and the emotional intelligence. And then at the end, he just kind of just summed it up, and he's just a great bleeping guy.
No, I mean,
you're so nice. You almost got Dan Dickerson to swear.
I mean, he almost did right there. We almost got him to do it. I mean, no, I've been really lucky to have some incredible coaches throughout baseball, from high school, really when I was playing travel ball as a kid, to high school, to college, to pro ball. I've coming up with the Phillies and stuff. I've been lucky enough to be around like some incredible people that have taught me the right way to go about my business. I think if it wasn't for them, I probably would. I don't know if I'd be getting those reviews from those guys, but just knowing how to go about my business every day, you know, and also my parents raised me and stuff like that. I just feel like they did a great job, and I don't know, just be humble and always try to be good to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Are you saying that there was an age where you were mean?
I don't know if there was an age where I was mean. Maybe there were certain times when I thought I was mean, but people were like, dude, you're like the nicest guy ever. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, I've been around some incredible people, so I kind of credit them with, you know, especially the way I play baseball and the way I try to play. I credit them for a lot of that, and my parents for just keeping me humble and all that stuff. So.
Well, there's a certain, I mean, Scott Harris is trying to build a certain culture here, but he makes the point, and AJ makes the point all the time, that's created by the players in the clubhouse. We target certain personalities to go with the skills, as I mentioned, but the players create it.
Yeah.
I remember you and we were chatting last fall, and Tigers were on a nice streak to end the season, but you were talking about how after games you guys would stay and talk. You said there are a lot of glue guys on this team.
Yeah.
And that to me is like the beginning seeds of something that could be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe what you see when you talk about a glue guy and how important that is?
Yeah, a glue guy.
They're all named Elmer.
They're like, a glue guy is just someone like, he brings everybody together. They're at least friends with everybody almost, I want to say. Like, you know, I always go back to like in Philly in 22 when we made that good playoff run. I felt like we had like some really good guys, really good glue guys that kind of meshed the older guys to the young guys. You know, like Kyle Schwarber was a good one that he'd always be with the young guys, and everybody was on the same level. Or like Harper was like that too, but then like Garrett Stubbs would always be with the older guys too, so he would mesh everybody together. And I feel like on this team too, we have a lot of guys, everybody's close, everybody's friends with each other, everybody's pulling for each other to win. It's kind of like, you know, after the game, if we were all to go hang out, you know, everybody's talking with everybody. It's kind of like everyone meshes, that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
And there's not many egos, not many, you know, I'm out for myself type things. So we got a lot of good people on this team. So it's a lot of fun to be around and a lot of fun to come to work every day when you got a lot of people like that.
That's one of the things AJ always talks about. You got to have fun while you're doing this job. It's
totally.
a long grind of a season. You better have fun along the way.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just the people in the room and the people around the team, like you guys and whoever else. Like if you come to work each day, that was a nice little compliment. You come to work each day and it doesn't feel like work because you're just with people you like and you're having a good time. And so I feel like we got a lot of people like that around the team and on the team.
So if we take your Tigers friends, your CBC friends, and your Notre Dame friends, and they all get in a room. Number one, how are you handling that? Like, how do you make sure everybody gets together? And then number two, what is the thing they would all get together and go, oh, he did that then too? Like, he's always been like that? That's crazy.
I think the first thing, I feel like everybody would get along for the most part. I mean, that's a good thing, I would hope. But high school, like I think of like, I went to high school with Jake Berger. He'd mesh perfectly with these guys.
But so, how do they all see you the same? Like,
I think they all.
What's the through line of high school, college, and the pros that they're like, oh, dude, he did that weird thing then too, or he has this personality trait, whatever it is.
Yeah, as far as personality trait, it could be like too nice might be one, or another thing might be when I do get like pissed off or whatever it may be, I'll get pretty quiet. Maybe there were definitely times in high school, definitely times in college, definitely times in pro ball where I've gone quiet and gotten a little
that's when everybody knows, just leave them alone.
I feel like because I'm pretty nice, I feel like when all of a sudden I get quiet and stuff, oh, okay. But it doesn't happen often, but when it does, yeah. So maybe that would be something they would all be like, okay, he's a little ticked off.
Did you see the look in his eye when he said "gone quiet" for the first time? It was like "gone quiet."
There's like see it.
I was scared.
I would be.
Were you a good brother to Mark?
A good brother, I would hope. I think I was. I think at certain times we'd fight all the time, man.
Because we've had stories on this podcast of Jake, Tarek, older brothers.
Yeah. No, I'd terrorize him pretty good. Yeah.
And then he got quiet suddenly.
No, then I got quiet. No, I mean, I was your older brother that would just always stir the pot, always annoy him. Kind of like, you know, we'd be playing, every time we'd play, he'd find a way to get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, towards the end, he'd always find a way to get hurt, and then I would always be in trouble. Even if I didn't do, he just fell on the ground crying, or, you know, I would always be the one to blame. But no, I was your typical, I just terrorize him all the time. And
what'd you do to him?
It was always like playing in the backyard, always kind of beating him into the ground a little bit, or just, I was always hard on him. But like my dad was the youngest of his, of 3 brothers, he was the youngest. And he ended up being the best athlete out of them all. I love my uncles to death, but they'd say the same thing. And I feel like those 2 older brothers always going at him made him better. So I always felt like I'm going to do the same thing, you know? And it did make him really good. I mean, he's a hell of an athlete. He's still playing baseball. So, and he played at a super high level. So I felt like, in a way, it helped him, but I probably went overboard a little bit too much sometimes.
He even says that with a smile.
Yeah. I remember one time where we'd always like water our backyard, you know?
One of the jobs you had.
We'll water the backyard when it was cold outside, and it would ice over, and it'd be, you know, St. Louis winter gets pretty cold, so we play a little like hockey, no skates or anything, but just hockey outside. And I had a puck, and I remember I'm like, Mark, go play goalie, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll go play goalie. He's like, just don't shoot it at my face. I'm like, no, I won't. First shot, smokes him right. We had to go get stitches, the whole thing. My dad said so many, like, yelling at, I can't say it on here, but yeah, I had to take him down to urgent care, get him stitches, the whole thing. And that was like high school. That wasn't like,
you had to take him to urgent care.
I had to. That's like, I'm not taking him, so I had to take him. But no, there were so many times that you know, a lot of it was around, you know, horsing around, playing in the backyard. But me and him were super close. And
how proud are you that he's playing?
Oh, incredibly proud. I know that he didn't know if he was going to keep playing. But I told him, I was like, I feel like you'll regret it if he's playing in the Frontier League. And I was like, I feel like you'll regret it if you just don't keep going. He was one of those guys that got hurt by COVID. I feel like when they slimmed the draft to 5 rounds, I feel like he would have had a shot. And you know, so many guys that happened to. So he's not alone, but I was like, I feel like you'll regret it if you kind of give up on it. So why don't you can work or do whatever the rest of your life. Why don't you give it a shot? And you know, it was really his decision. That was kind of just my little advice to him. But I'm so proud of him that he's still playing and making memories, still playing,
and loving it.
And he's loving it, yeah. And he's having a good time. He's around some great guys. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud that he's still doing it. I don't know how many guys get paid to play baseball. I mean, now with NIL, it's different. But, you know, guys are playing pro baseball and getting paid to do it and make it to that level. That's something to be proud of. So, our whole family's proud of him. Yes, it's pretty cool. Yes. Yeah.
What is it like? This is in recent history to when we're taping this. What's it like to hit a walk-off homer? What's it feel like?
I mean, I didn't know that feeling until about 3 or 4 days ago. But it's, yeah, I mean, you can't even really think when you know what I mean? Like, everything just kind of is like a little bit of a blur. But I think the best part of the whole thing is just seeing how excited everybody got, how excited the fans got, how excited, like, especially my teammates, like how crazy they went. And like, I feel like at one point I got separated from the pile and they were all just going nuts in their own little pile, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I thought that was the coolest thing, and just knowing how fired up I got all those guys. So, yeah, just seeing how the moment gets everybody excited is probably the best part for me. other than, you know, hitting a home run and getting all that, but and winning the game. So
That was a 3-2 pitch.
3-2.
Third
2
straight
outs.
slider from a really tough pitcher.
Yeah, it was. I was feeling good that day, and it was one of those, like, I forget who said it, but they were like, if I'm feeling bad, I couldn't hit anybody, but when I'm feeling good, you could throw the best guy out there, and you know, I feel like I could hit something. I felt like that day. I felt good, and if I felt like if I got a good pitch to hit, I could do something with it, and I ended up getting the pitch I was looking for. So, yeah, I mean, the whole thing was pretty cool, and I credit to just feeling good and putting in work for it.
And you've got a job to do circling the bases. We understand that you've got to acknowledge the bullpen. And I went back and watched both home runs in that game. The first time you didn't acknowledge the bullpen until you're near home plate. But the whole deal is you have to do it before you reach home. But on the walk-off, you did acknowledge the bullpen between second and third.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. My first 2 home runs this year, I did not acknowledge the bullpen, and Andrew Chafin fined me, so I had to pay the fine. And you don't. I mean, it's annoying to have to pay that fine. But then the next couple homers I hit, I remembered at like the last second, and so I did it like between third and home. And then that's always been like these home runs I've hit lately, I've always remembered it at the last possible moment, it's felt like. So I'll turn around and like point to him or whatever. And it got to the point where he comes up to me, he's like, hey, you know, are you doing this on purpose? Like wait until the very last second? You know what I mean? Like you can do it around first base or second base, but you're doing it literally when you cross third base or right before you get to third base. You know, you're keeping us in suspense. And I'm like, dude, honestly, the moment just kind of gets to me a little bit and I forget. But yeah, you have to acknowledge the bullpen. So if you don't, you got to pay a fine. That's the rule.
But what's funny to me about that whole story is what happened in Arizona with your walk.
Yeah.
On 3 and 2.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So Matt and I were talking about 3-2 pitches. We were talking about like first pitch and your approach on first pitches, and you said, hey, if you look at my 3-2 pitches for the year, they're all strikes, basically, is how you felt, right?
Yeah, well, I was like, my walk numbers have been down, so and I knew that. I don't look at stats all that much, but I was like, I know I haven't been walking like at all. So and he comes up to me, we were talking about first pitch, and then I brought up, I was like, you know, I haven't walked that much, and I've been in some 3-2 counts, like at 18, 19 up to that point. And I swear, I have not seen one ball, or if I have, maybe one, and I probably chased it. And he's like, you were like, that's interesting. I'm gonna go take a look at that. The next day you come back, and
they're all strikes.
They're all strikes.
It's like filled up. It's like a jar of candy corns in the strike zone.
Yeah, and then there was like a stat, like I was getting strikes thrown at me like 58% of the time.
More than anybody on the team.
Yeah, and basically 2/3 of the time I'm getting thrown strikes. It's hard to walk when you're doing that. And I'm like, that makes a ton of sense. So you're kind of like my analyst looking at.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Which is why when I asked you a few days later in Kansas City about your walk rate, you had the quick ammo to say, they're throwing me too many strikes.
I knew exactly. I knew.
So long story short, not his analyst, but that night you took a 3-2 walk.
And then that night, yeah, I was like, how funny is this? Literally as the moment was happening, I'm like, I'm in a 3-2 count right here. And the guy.
You're thinking of Jason as you're waiting for the 3-2.
I did.
Not good.
Not good. And I got the slider off the plate. Good take. Took it. And you didn't see it.
I missed it.
I looked up at him, like it was a big situation in the game.
I wish I'd seen this.
And I looked up at him and for like a good 3-4 seconds, and I was thinking maybe he might see it or something like that, because the moment was kind of like, oh no way. You got
I was talking to Gibby. I saw it happen.
Yeah.
Then I was talking to Gibby about something, but you came up to me the next day. You were like, dude, you see it?
And so I guess you didn't see it, but
thank you for acknowledging us.
Yeah.
But the bullpen, like, you're coming around third. You're like, oh, I got to.
I see where you're going.
But here's the thing. Here's my point. A home run is such a different adrenaline boost compared to something like a base hit or a walk.
Yeah.
And what you're describing about not knowing the feeling makes a lot of sense in that context.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of have to lose yourself on a homer like that, right?
Yeah, the moment it gets to you a little bit, especially on the walk-off. I mean, those things just kind of get to you, and it's hard. I mean, you just don't really know how to explain it. But I mean, it's like I don't think of the bullpen or think of what I'm supposed to do until like 10 seconds go by, and the whole moment slows down for a second. Everything speeds up.
Because you just won the game.
And that too.
What didn't they throw at you after that
the
walk-off?
creativity of what they threw on you was pretty good in the moment.
I jumped on home plate and I got a mouthful of baby powder. And if you like, afterwards I was like coughing because I'm trying to like wipe my mouth. I was like, I need some water. My mouth is so dry from all the baby. I think Javi came up and sprayed me. He was like, you were running too fast around the bases. I didn't have time, so I think he was gonna like throw it on top of everybody. Instead, he like ran up and just launched it in there. They were throwing everything. I don't know, whatever they can get their hands on in that moment. So it's probably a good thing I was running quick. Didn't have time to get everything they needed. I don't know. But it was so cool, man. Just being able to do that. I mean, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
The development of a power hitter at the major league level is fascinating to me because the good ones, it can take some time to tap into power that everybody has acknowledged all along the way that you have with that line drive stroke. I remember watching you this spring and you were just spraying line drives everywhere. I don't watch batting practice very often, but your line drives were hitting the wall and going over the wall left field in Lakeland. Yeah. And I asked you about it, and you said you hadn't really made any changes, but you have been working on balancing what you learned growing up, that inside-out, opposite field approach, with learning when to take your shot. This is not a small thing to learn, but it's been fascinating to watch you. What are some of the key steps along the way that have helped you now start to tap into that power?
Yeah, it's been good as of late, and I've worked really hard to be early, be on time, and it's hard to kind of describe. It's almost like I've really tried to utilize my hands lately. I've been working with Michael Radar and our hitting coaches on kind of that inside-out swing that you were just talking about that I grew up with, that all the old school guys that
hit it to the right side.
Hit it to the right side.
Punch it through.
Yeah, hit it on the ground. Don't hit it in the air. It's kind of how I was taught a little bit. Really line drives, but on the ground was better than in the air.
Right.
As I was growing up, and then now as baseball's kind of come on, it's changed. But I mean, utilizing my hands to be quick to the inside pitch. Last night I hit a double off a fastball up and in, and the guy and Martin quick pitched me on it. And I was able to just kind of drop the barrel on it, so to speak. That's really what I've been working on, is just having quick hands to inside pitches. It's been working lately. It's been feeling really good.
You hate talking about it, probably?
I don't want to talk too much about it, but just like a lot of hitters probably do. But with a lot of things, it's like golf, baseball, these swing sports, I feel like it's almost like you get these feels that feel very good, and guys go on hot streaks and they tap into things, and when you get those certain feels, I feel like it's about building off those and storing those in the memory bank and going back to them whenever, because you will lose them,
right?
And just going back to them and trying to get those feelings again. So as far as like the power and stuff, it's been a lot of fun to see it kind of, to start to lift the ball pull side in the air, and I just really want to keep it going. I made a big effort to pull the ball more, a big effort to put the ball in the air more. After talking with our hitting coaches and AJ and Scott and everybody, I hit the ball very hard.
Right.
It's like, why don't we try to utilize that in the air more? And it hasn't been easy. And
your swing has been the same since you were a teen.
and I don't want to change. That's what got me here. I don't want to change the way I have always hit. I just want to build off that and now translate that to more power. So it's kind of this balancing act that's really tough to do, that I'm starting to learn more and more. I wish I could just, snap and all of a sudden I'm hitting 30 home runs. But I mean, it's not that easy.
Well, you watch a guy named Miguel Cabrera. I mean, you were together for a year, and I know he was toward the end of his career, but still, his BPs were always opposite field, opposite field, opposite field, and then
he's so strong, and he could put balls out anywhere, but his BP was always the other way, always on the ground the other way, or line drives the other way. You'd see him, you know, if the BP pitcher would miss middle in, he would turn on it and hit a homer on it the right way. Yeah. Backspin it the right way, but it always seemed like his approach was right center field in batting practice and in the game. That was last year. I was only with him for a year, but so many of those great hitters always talk about that too. So, yeah, it's kind of cool.
We'll let you go after this, but I do wonder, distance-wise, does home plate look farther from the monster here, or does the monster look farther from home plate when you're standing there?
It's a good question. It looks way farther from up here.
Really?
Yeah, when you're at home plate, it looks close.
Yeah.
It looks really close. But when you're up here, you're like, it looks pretty far.
Yeah.
I feel like. Maybe it's because we're up so high, I don't know. But,
so don't think pull, but you would love to hit one over this green monster.
I would love to hit one over. I think it's everybody's dream is to hit one over the monster.
What are you doing to him? He has 3 games left.
Well, I'm trying to get him to not think about you in a 3-2 count when he's standing at home plate.
It's hard to break that bond.
That's true. That's my analyst.
You are killing me with the coaching staff right now. It's actual murder that's happening on top of the green monster.
It's great. It's great.
We just happened to have had the conversation. It was weird timing.
It was very weird timing, but it was fitting.
Last thing, who should we talk to? We've talked to Rogers, we've talked to Scooble, we've talked to AJ. Faedo's on our list.
Faedo's
because of Raj. He said do that next.
Yeah. Another person to talk to. Oh man. I could throw out a couple names. Have you talked to Riley yet?
We've not.
Riley would be a good one.
We feel like we've got to do him and Torque together. Would you agree, or would you like?
That'd be a fun interview.
What should we be on top of for that interview? Or on top of the monster for you? Like a boat in Florida?
A boat in Florida would be perfect. Riley's boat.
Riley's boat.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh man. I mean, I think Gio Urshela is a good one with some good stories.
Really?
I like that. I love talking to Gio. Like I always ask him about like the Yankees and stuff like that, and I was like, those games, New York and Fenway, I mean, they had to be crazy. He's like, oh, we played a 1-game wild card here, Yankees, Red Sox. I'm like, I can't even imagine what that was like. He'd be a cool one to get on. I bet he'd have some good stories. And he's a great guy. Great
awesome.
guy.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Well, thank you. T-ball line drive hitter Matt Vierling.
That's me.
Really appreciate you spending the time.
Thanks, guys. This is awesome.